Kontac, aka Stephen Ashford, is a filmmaker from the Bay Area who's also an artist who's put one film, Finders Keepers, up next, followed by Finders Keepers 2 and Losers Weepers, as well as a kids' film called Snowflake Witches. And all these films are going to be out in this year of 2025. And Kontac is on the line with us here just now. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you on the show today. And you've made a name for yourself as a filmmaker and an artist. So, what was it that first got you into filmmaking, and how does your artistic background influence your movies?
First person that got me into it was my uncle, Robert Martis. He's a director and a producer who worked with Robert Townsend. So back in '95, I had a role in a film with Todd Bridges from Different Strokes that my uncle filmed. So that kind of got me started in it.
Yeah. Now, your first film, Finders Keepers, is already out. So what was the inspiration behind that project?
That all happened during COVID. I remember I was in a recording studio, and I had this idea for years. And I told my friend Dap Daniel, who's a producer, and I said, "Man, I want to do this film." And I told him the concept. He said, "Man, that sounds like a good concept." So then we went and got my friend Raven Richardson, who does music videos. So we got together and just made it happen.
Yeah. And you've got, as I mentioned in the intro, quite a busy, packed slate for 2025. You've got At 60 Days, Finders Keepers 2, Losers Weepers, and Snowflake Witches. So how do you manage such an ambitious schedule?
Man, we just film. My theory is you only live once, so you might as well do as much as you can while you're on this earth. So the next film actually is 60 Days, and that film is done. It's already won some film festival awards. The Chicago Film Festival, Austin International Film Festival, Hong Kong Film Festival, the Florence Indie Film Festival, and the Portland award. So it's been making its rounds, and that's scheduled to release late May. It'll be on Tubi and Amazon Prime and other streaming networks.
Well, that's exciting. Now, what is actually the story behind that film At 60 Days, and what can we expect from it?
Yeah, 60 Days is a kind of got the concept from a Richard Pryor movie called Brewster's Million. When he had to he had to spend all the money in like a month to get more money. So the concept's about a guy named Dante, and Dante is a womanizer. So he goes through women after woman after woman, and his mother dies, and his mother leaves an inheritance. And the inheritance, the stipulation is he cannot have sex for 60 days. So he has a lawyer, and his lawyer's assistant kind of overhears everything, and he tries to make his life hell by throwing women his way. So he ultimately finds the true love of his life, and he has to choose between the money or the woman. So it's a comedy, comedy romance.
Absolutely. And Finders Keepers 2 is coming out as well. So what do we explore in that film?
Yeah, so Finders Keepers 2 is slated to come out in the summertime, and that follows Reg. Reg is a character from part 1, and they sell these pills and make a lot of money. So basically, he has more pills, he's making more money, but his friend Jalen gets locked up. So now he has to raise money to get him out of jail. So he goes through all kinds of crazy things, and it's another comedy.
Yeah. Now, you're also working on a kids' film called Snowflake Witches. So what was it that made you want to branch out into that sort of family content?
Yeah, Snowflake Wishes. I'm a teacher. So I just said to myself, I do positive music, so let me make a positive kids film.
Yeah.
So that film is about 80% finished. And it's about it's a story of a father's love for his daughter and the things that he'll do to keep his daughter happy. So his daughter wants this doll, and this doll is sold out. So the father goes everywhere to find it, and he finally finds it. Then it gets stolen, and at the end of the day, he gets it back, and his daughter gets it Christmas morning. So it's just basically the story of something a father would do, to keep his kids happy.
Absolutely. And how do you balance making films for different audiences? You got thrillers there and children's movies.
Well, I wanted to kind of stay away from the regular street movies that a lot of people make. And I went the comedy route because, everybody likes to laugh. And I did the kids film, and I also have a horror film. So I'm jumping
Oh.
around all the different genres, and I was a horror film and a horror fan and a comedy fan growing up, from the Friday the 13th to the Friday series. So just a lot of the things that I liked, I kind of incorporate them in my way.
Absolutely. And independent filmmakers often face a lot of challenges, with funding and distribution. So, what's your experience been like getting these projects off the ground?
Luckily, I've been blessed with a great network of friends that are actors and actresses. So they kind of do a pro bono, and that makes it easier. And I fund all the films with my own money. And then you got places like Finders Keepers was distributed through Maverick Entertainment. It was a good situation, but I learned a lot from that situation. So I'm going to go through Indie Rights, which is another distribution company, and it's an 80-20 split. So the most important thing for making film is not, I mean, the film is important, but getting the deliverables. There's so many things you have to do before getting something on distribution networks and streams. So the paperwork is copyrights, closed caption. There's so many other things that go into the end of the film. So you got to get your deliverables together for sure.
Absolutely. And what's the biggest lesson you've learned from making your first film that you're applying to your upcoming ones?
Keep your circle small. Keep the same people that you're working with, because one bad apple can ruin things, and I definitely I keep a small circle of people I trust, and that's why things are progressing the way they are.
Absolutely. And if you could collaborate with any filmmaker or actor on a future project, who do you think it would be and why?
Any actor, man, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Uh, Filmmaker, a director, Robert Townsend or Keenan Ivory
Oh,
Wayans. I mean, my uncle was with them, so I would love to do something with them because they're like the pioneers of the black comedy culture. So I would love to do something with them, as far as like directing. Star wise, I mean, Jamie Foxx would be somebody good. Ice Cube would be somebody good to have in a comedy. So people like that.
absolutely. And if what's next for you beyond these films that you've got coming up in 2025? Are there plans to keep the pace going and release more films or even any other completely unrelated projects?
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep it going. I got Losers Weepers Part Two, my horror film. We're filming that in Atlanta in the summer, and I also
Oh,
do music. So I got a kids single called "Believe in It," featuring the boys, the '80s R&B group, the boys, Mr. Fab and Coolio, the underground underdog, which was the number 5 on the kids chart. So definitely doing positive music is another passion of mine.
excellent. Well, in the meantime, where are we able to find all the films that you've released so far? Of course, Finders Keepers is the first film that's out. So where can we see that and keep up to date with everything that you're working on?
Yeah, Tubi for sure. That's where Finders Keepers is, and all the other films will be through Tubi, along with Amazon Prime and Contact 21, Kontac 21. That's all the social media stuff, and you can get a lot of updates. I put trailers up and little reels from the films that I'm doing. And again, I have a radio show called Throwbacks to New Slaps Thursday on Power 105 with my boy Sugar Kane and
Oh,
Dap Daniel. So I do that, and that's like we play a lot of the '90s Bay Area music that we grew up to. So that's been going really well for us. So we've been having over 20,000 viewers every week. So it's a pretty good situation.
yeah. Well, many thanks for joining us today. It's been great to have you on the show.
Thank you, appreciate it, and shout outs to Bobby Martis, my uncle, inspiration, my family, my friends, everybody that's holding me down. So appreciate it and thank you.